There is a remarkable secret to getting your energy back if you've lost it, and that's what we're talking about now.
All right.
I love coffee. I mean, I really do. I love Starbucks, especially the lighter ones. I love Tim Hortons coffee here in Canada. Brewed coffee, there's nothing like it. I like espresso, all of it. And coffee used to have a bad rap, but now scientists are talking about coffee's beneficial antioxidants. Well, at least the scientists who work for the coffee industry are. Now, I used to work very, very late. Remember I did hypnosis?
Yeah, you used to do hypnosis shows and you would work late. So let me guess, you'd probably drink a lot of coffee.
Buddy, did I ever. I get off stage at 11:30 sometimes or midnight waiting to get paid if I was doing a nightclub. I might have a 2 or 3 hour drive home, which my wife hated. She'd think I was going to crash the car and fall asleep. I would load up on coffee, but at first I was okay because adrenaline from the show was in my system. It kept me awake for a while. Then I'd start to fade, and I depended on coffee to stay alert when I was driving these long drives home. But guess what? Over time, go ahead.
Something happened.
Something happened. The coffee stopped working. I'd have a huge cup of coffee and I'd fall asleep as soon as I got home safe. Now, this is interesting, and I discovered when I was teaching a hypnosis course in downtown Toronto, I started drinking so much coffee. I'd take the subway into Bay Station. There was a Starbucks there, and I would get 2 Starbucks Ventis, which are 20 ounces each. 2!
Wow.
And one for the walk and the other for when I was teaching. Now realize that is nearly a gram of caffeine, which is not a good thing. Antioxidants or not. The FDA says 400 milligrams a day is the max you should. I was having almost 1,000.
And that was just at that moment.
Who
you were
knows what
having
else?
nearly double the FDA recommended amount
Just in
your morning and then your first hour of
terrible.
class.
So it stopped working. I'd just be tired. I'd drink more coffee and I'd keep getting more and more tired. But it makes sense because I developed a tolerance for the caffeine. My body got used to it. I needed more to get the caffeine lift. And the paradox is, and Hahnemann discovered this in the 1700s, too much coffee will actually make you fall asleep. It'll make you tired. And it's not a good thing when you're driving out all the minerals in your body, like potassium that you need for your heart
and your salt.
Salt?
I mean, you know that every cup of coffee, normal cup of coffee, not a venti, every normal cup of coffee causes you to excrete through your urine about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
And you got to put it back.
So if you have 4 freaking cups of coffee equivalent, let's say in those 2 ventis is probably a teaspoon and a half of salt that you would need to. I mean, imagine taking a teaspoon and a half of pure salt, sticking.
You need vinegar with it.
Yeah.
Now, coffee is a diuretic. It causes the kidneys to function. It causes you to urinate, and it makes you thirstier. Well, tea doesn't do that. Coffee makes you thirstier. So what's the solution? If you get really tired from it, it stops working. Cut your caffeine way back. It's the opposite of what you think. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, moderate size. That's it. I sometimes have a small one in the afternoon if I get really tired, if I'm really working hard, but generally no. And it works again. Because I cut the caffeine back, my body is now resensitized to it. So if you're getting tired, cut your coffee back to a couple of cups early in the day and don't have it again. And I promise it will be there when you need it. Your body will switch back to liking caffeine and using a bit of it to stay awake.
Yeah, and what I've done is also cut down on the coffee. But if I notice that I've had plenty of coffee, and if you're out there and you notice, oh, you're drinking 3-4 cups a day and you're tired, instead of that extra cup of coffee, go for some salt. When you add the salt back to your diet with some water, it'll replenish your energy a lot better than that extra coffee. Yeah. So
I saw a guy in a documentary, worked in a coffee shop in Italy, I think in Rome, and this guy was literally drinking 40 espressos a day.
Oh.
And they asked him why, and he said he can't stay awake without it. And in reality, it's doing the opposite. So take this to heart. It's okay to have small amounts, but when you cut it back, you'll get your energy back.
That's the secret to an awesome life. All right, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you visit our website, MikeMandelHypnosis.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our podcast, the Brain Software Podcast. And in the link below this video, in the description below this video, you'll find a link to join our free Facebook group called Brain Software. So we encourage you to join that, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again, and good night.
Good night.